Hello everyone, Silent here, and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 1. It is episode 21 today, and today we're going to be continuing on with the projects that we've been doing in the last couple of episodes, focusing a little bit on the raid farm, but more importantly on the actual trading hall over here. I would like to try and get some really good villagers. However, I have been doing a little bit more AFK over here because we have expanded the storage system, and this thing is just totally insane. We went through all of the different items that we have from this thing, and honestly, it is just kind of crazy. Like, for real, if you have not built raid farms in your world, I cannot recommend these things enough. We have over here a lot of shulker boxes. All of these lower ones are completely filled with totems of undying. That is a lot of shulker boxes. We have nearly 5 full shulker boxes full of enchanted books. So those 15 shulker boxes full of totems of undying was just from our 9 double chest storage system that we had over here before, and that's before we expanded it and before I've used the farm more. Like, I literally have no idea what I am possibly going to use all these totems for. I swear, if I die a single time in the rest of the entire season, you know it has to have been staged, because I just, like, it's unreasonable amounts of totems. So raid farms really are amazing for the sheer amount of amazing loot that you get from them. However, there is a pretty big major drawback, and that is that you have to actually manually sort out all of the iron gear, the totems, and all the other random non-stackable items. I would really love it if there was a way just to sort out the iron gear and armor and weapons. That would be truly awesome, because then you wouldn't have to do any sorting for that stuff. Throw it directly into a furnace, it would smelt down into iron, and then you'd have a nice little passive income. That would be amazing. Now, there is actually technically a way to do that, because you can actually dispense armor and weapons to an armor stand using a dispenser, of course. However, getting it off of the armor stand and then into a different storage system and, you know, recycling that system, making it AFK, that is a difficult task I have not figured out yet. If any of you guys are interested, definitely give that little, you know, concept a shot, because that would be an amazing non-stackable item sorter to have for raid farms. So I just ran over there to do some trading with the villagers. However, I didn't really have any emeralds on me, which also leads me to the other best part of this farm, and that is that we get literally all of the emeralds in the entire world. And just to have another little squirrel moment real quick, we needed a name for this dog because he is adorable. I randomly found him, you know, walking around out here, killed a couple skeletons, tamed him, and now he's just so adorable. Look at that, he loves me, he's just great. And also, squirrel moment number 2, this is a thing that exists and can apparently happen. I love it. I placed down like maybe 4 lecterns and I already got a mending villager for 22. I know that's not the greatest trade in the world. However, I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in because we have so many other trading cells available, and already having a mending villager right off the bat is just like incredible. That's awesome. So basically how you do this to re-roll your villagers, you basically just go ahead and place down a lectern, and that guy will link to it. But of course, this guy has already been, you know, traded with. He is now never going to trade, you know, or he's never going to change professions. This guy over here, he doesn't have a profession. So as soon as we place that down, he should link to it, and then he's going to have a brand new trade. Basically, what you want to do is you want to keep on breaking that. He'll go back to professionless, place it back down, he'll become a librarian again, and have a different trade. That is so touch for 18 emeralds. I believe we can get it as cheap as 5. I don't think the actual prices for enchantment books have changed in this update, not for the Bedrock edition anyway, because we don't get nice things like single emerald, you know, mending books. That is a thing that you can do on Java. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for a little while, see what kind of incredible enchantment books I can get from these guys, and then we will have the beginning of an amazing trading hall. And look at that, the villagers are already dropping in there, no problems at all. Very nice. It's not quite perfect, but I mean, you know, it works. They don't need to be right next to each other. They can have some space, you know what I mean? And there we go. It just takes a little bit of patience to get mending for 10 emeralds. I actually don't have the emeralds in my inventory, nor do I have a book to trade him, so I need to quickly get some of these things. Boop, boop, put down the grindstone real quick. Hopefully he does not unlink from that thing. put that into there and give me that mending 10 trade. There we go. It is locked in. Nice. So our other mending villager that we had over here for 22, he can probably be disposed of. However, it's never a bad idea to have backup mending villagers, but that is incredible. Mending a 10, not too bad. As you can see, I've been doing a bunch of villager trading in general, so now we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 different villagers, and honestly, this has been super smooth sailing. Let's check out the different enchantment books that we have. So just these few guys right here has actually only taken me about maybe an hour or so. I feel like that took way less than an hour, however. So this guy is Aqua Affinity for pretty much the cheapest price that you can get. Of course, mending of 422. We got Flame for pretty much the cheapest price. Quick Charge 3 for nearly as cheap as you can get it. Infinity for nearly as cheap as you can get it. We got Thorns 3 for really cheap. That's like a super hard enchantment to get. I pretty much never get Thorns 3 when I make these trading halls. Punch 2 also for a very good price. Fire Aspect 2 for the best price that you can get it for, and then also, of course, Mending for the best price that you can get it for as well. Overall, very good stuff. They might not be the specific enchantments that we're looking for. However, when it comes to actually, you know, making these villager trading halls, I thought this guy was in a minecart. That's why I started to laugh, but no, he's just being a butt. But yeah, when it comes to actually making these villager trading halls, you don't really want to go for specific enchantments at first. You just kind of trade with a bunch of these guys, get what enchantments you can as you can get them, and then once you get a bunch of villagers and there's only a few enchantments left that you need, then you actually start going for specific ones. So like, it would be really nice if we had all the different protections and maybe some efficiency 5 and maybe some unbreaking 3, but overall that's not too big of a deal right now because, you know, we got like 8, 9 other different enchantments already. So we are doing super good. As we fill in more of the trading hall, we'll get more solid enchantments, and then we'll be able to make a ton more amazing armor and weapons and tools, and everything is going to be very great. I am super excited for this. Some people say it isn't a silent episode without a few derps, and those people would be absolutely correct, except that sometimes we don't have derps and then multiple derps in the same episode. But you see what's missing right here? You can probably see it. There's a hopper missing, and this hopper takes everything from our lower kill chamber, which actually gives us bad omen, and puts it into the storage system. So as you can see, we should be getting a lot more crossbows, just like all of the arrows. Hey, that has a breaking 3. I'll take that. Thank you. And then, yeah, basically a bunch more banners as well. I was kind of wondering why we haven't been gaining more banners. And I think I have my reason. I need to go get myself a hopper. Unlinking from their workstations, which is also kind of strange. Like, I can reach that one all the way down over there. However, these guys can't reach, like, you know, a single block, which is a little bit weird. Maybe not the best game design, but hey ho. But yeah, as you can see, they're unlinking. They're getting the storm cloud particles. That means that other guys can claim them, and it's just a massive mess. So we need to find a better spot for all of these workstations where they can actually reach them, they won't be able to unlink from them, and they'll actually be able to restock all of their trades on time, which is very, very important. My first idea was actually putting them like right there. However, some of these workstations don't have like a full hitbox. As you can see, this one is a little bit short, and I feel like that could allow the minecarts to roll back up into that spot, glitch out, kill the villager. Might be a bad time. So I need to experiment with this, see where I can put these little workstations and have them not break the entire system. Well, actually, this isn't gonna be that big of a deal because these are the only 2 of 5 workstations we're gonna be using that are actually like not a full hitbox. The other 3 are full blocks, and these ones kind of line up directly with the edges of the other blocks. So if you're in a minecart, you can't like shove it up into that block or anything. You can't even like ride it into that block, which is really convenient. And I think that's gonna work out perfectly. I don't think the blocks above it will be of issue either. I'm pretty sure they'll still be able to link to these and, you know, access them and refresh their trades and everything. So that's pretty perfect. I just kind of need to figure out how in the world I'm gonna get a lectern behind every single one of these villagers without killing them all. via suffocation. This is gonna be traumatic, I feel. It is officially time that we start working smart on this channel and not hard, because dang it, I've wasted too many hours doing stuff the stupid way. There we go. We can just like put down a piston, shove these stupid electrons into there, and hopefully when we reload to this area, all these guys aren't suffocating in blocks, because that would just be my luck. Luckily, all these guys are contained within one chunk because of how we built this thing. But yeah, this is going way smoother than I thought it would. I'm pretty sure all of the workstations are actually movable because, you know, Bedrock Edition just be like that. And yeah, that's actually pretty much perfect. What do we need, like maybe 3 more? And look at that, they're all facing the wall. Good, that is your punishment for giving me less than perfect trades. But that does mean that these guys are actually looking at their workstations, which is perfect. That means that they are linked to them. Hopefully these guys actually link up with the ones that they can actually reach. I think that they will. If it's too far away, they'll probably unlink from it, and then time will just kind of sort all of that out, which is cool. And otherwise, that actually went super smoothly. I'm glad I thought of actually using a smart thing. So at this point, I think the trading hall is functionally complete unless something breaks or I completely destroy something accidentally, which is still on the table. That could still happen. But there is one more thing that we need to do, and I'm actually completing that right now, and that is getting 4 cats into this one very specific hole. We already got 3, and this is because the village cap of cats is actually 4. If you have more than 4 in the area, no more are going to spawn, at least as far as I'm aware. Will you just like stop, just go into the hole? But we really need to actually prevent these guys from spawning. That way they're not getting everywhere, they're not nudging the mine carts, they're not getting into the trading hall. And yes, there we go, excellent. So now we will no longer ever have cats in the area. There's a pro tip for you: if you don't want to have cats, just throw 4 of the guys into a hole, and don't tame them or anything, they won't despawn. You should be perfectly fine. So if I've done my counting correctly, there are 35 different types of enchantment books that you can get on this platform. And assuming that we only get 1 enchantment book a type per villager, that just like kind of makes sense. I don't think we'll get very many good things from their secondary or 3rd trades. That means that we're only gonna have 6 cells left over for the other 4 different types of villagers that we wanna trade with. So we definitely need to expand this trading hall, which is perfectly fine. We can expand this way by another 16 blocks, giving us 16 more villagers, which should be good enough. But I think we will leave that for another episode, maybe where we actually go ahead and decorate this thing. I might call in Zloy to help decorate this because I'm not a builder. I have literally no idea how to go about decorating this thing, especially roofs. Roofs scare me. So we're gonna move on from this. We'll come work on this a little bit by bit over the next couple of episodes just to get all those villagers filled in. Otherwise, we're done for today. So moving on with the rest of the episode, we have some stuff that we need to do in the shopping district, and this place has actually gotten a little bit of a facelift since the last time I showed it on camera. So Zloy did the nether tunnel going to the proper portal, and we also have this nice little like casino out the backside, which is kind of cool. I honestly really love this place. Like, when you break it down, it's super simple, but it just looks amazing. I don't know how Zloy does it. He just makes builds that are just great. I wish I could build like Zloy. It's great. Anyway, if we pop through here as well, he's also decorated the other side of this thing. So as you can see, we got a nice little room in here as well, looking pretty snazzy. And then if we step outside of here, it's also nicely decorated as well, even with a tiny little portal on top, which I find to be adorable. Although he's got the corners on there. That is not politically correct. No one puts the corners on their portals. But yeah, moving on from over here, there's a small riot happening, which is just reasons, and then there's also a Christmas tree. I don't know what's up with either of these things, but we have ourselves a present right here. It's a magic stick, and it's an authentic Harry Potter wand. I mean, okay, can it do anything? Insert fancy graphics here. I don't know if I can do fancy graphics. This is just gonna sound cringy. Yeah, that looked amazing. Cool. Okay, this is truly authentic. Wonderful. So the first thing that I'd like to do is actually update our little bit of a beacon rental shop. And yes, this is the best shop on the entire server. What else do you need for beacon rentals? We'll set up a proper shop for actual beacon sales later in the season. But yeah, I added some color to it, put a little bit of a campfire down there as well. It is some smoking hot deals. We're now going to be selling or renting out the beacons plus the bases for 1 diamond an hour just for the beacon, or for 3 diamonds an hour for the beacon and the base as well. Of course, we have all of the emeralds in the entire world, so I'll probably just go ahead and put 2 sets of beacon bases in here. So that would be 2 stacks and 36 each for your beacon bases, and chill. We still have way more emeralds than we ever need, so that's kind of perfect. And I also kind of want to go ahead and get all the snow off of our dragon head as well. There is kind of a lot of it, and I never anticipated that being a thing. Not entirely sure how to fix it. However, it does kind of take away from it, doesn't it? There we go. That looks so much better. I used a combination of red carpet and some string to get rid of all the snow layers. There isn't red carpet or string everywhere because there's actually some light sources, and I don't think snow can actually land on like the stairs that are upside down, like these flat ones. But yeah, it looks really, really nice actually. You can barely notice the string, and you'll basically never notice it unless you actually come up here and specifically look for it. But yeah, it looks very, very nice now. I think that the carpets actually adds a little bit of something to it, a little bit of texture, a little bit of highlights as well. Overall, still a pretty awesome shop, and I definitely need to restock this thing. We won't have time in today's episode, but we definitely we need to get this thing restocked already and remove all of these diamond prices as well. We only sell for pebbles because we are Pebble Alliance, or wait, no. We're money morons all the way. And this actually reminds me, there is something that I've been wanting to show and also do for quite a while. So we are currently working on the village city on the server. If you're not aware of what the village city is, it's kind of in the name, it's the village city, but I'll put the world map up on screen right now so you can kind of see where we are at. For reference, our base is actually just like a couple hundred blocks that way. Zloy's village is over there, and yes, it's actually called a village. I'm not making fun of his accent. It's literally spelled with a W, so stop giving me a hard time for it in the comments. Besides, I'm allowed to make fun of Zloy. We're friends. But there is this little freelance tavern over here. Welcome to the Freelancer Guild. Okay, apparently it's not a tavern, but whatever. But basically what you can do here is actually, these guys are upside down. Weird. But yeah, squirrel moment. You can actually set up jobs for other people on the server to do and pay them in pebbles. So we're gonna set up a couple of jobs real quick for other people on the server, because there's definitely a few things that I need, and hopefully people will be willing to sell them to us. I love the moonrises on this server. We still need to have a little bit of a council meeting about why it's broken and raining down hellfire everywhere. However, it's still very beautiful. But I did go ahead and put up 3 new tasks at varying different levels of difficulty. So we have a basic task of get 64 poison potatoes for 16 pebbles. You know, it's a pretty simple, straightforward, just potato harvesting. And then also a advanced task of gather 32 emerald ore. I haven't seen a single emerald ore on the server, so that could be a fun one. And then the epic level task is gather 64 gas tiers. I really need a lot of gas tiers, and it's not what you think it's for. So yeah, that's a fun one, offering quite the reward for that one. That's like 32 diamonds worth of pebbles right there, so definitely worth somebody's time. And also, I found a nosy little jerk at the end of the book, because of course it was all the way at the end of the book. You gotta click like 1,000 times to get there. But I will go through the beginning of this book for you if you want to know the actual ins and outs of how exactly this works. You can see all the rules of the Freelance Tavern there, and honestly, this is just a really cool little job site made up by Zloy, and it kind of goes in perfectly with the village city idea. So it is now the next day, and no one has done our Freelance Tavern jobs, and I also found out that this zombie just doesn't really care about daylight, because he is of course on a lower half slab. He's actually been here for like a long time. I remember seeing him like a week ago, so he's never gonna move. That's chill. And also, when I said our village was like a couple hundred blocks away, I totally lied. It's like literally right there. That's within bow shooting distance, but it's still outside of render distance. So I can shoot an arrow over there, but it's just gonna go into unloaded chunks until we actually fly over there. But anyway, we have done one more thing, and that is actually fix our storage system. So if you are aware of when we built this, it was having a lot of issues, and I was trying to fix around with it and mess it up, or I was trying to fix it and not mess it up. And we did a couple different things, but nothing was really working. And this is a conversion of Tango Tech's multi-item storage system, and it's just an absolute mess to try and convert it to Bedrock Edition. Converting anything at all from Java to Bedrock is a total mess. That's why we don't convert things. We create brand new things. We're just missing like 90% of the features that Java uses. Anyway, so yeah, this entire thing was completely broken. It had like a 25% success rate of actually sorting the items. Turns out it was like a 2-hopper fix. So I had just 2 hoppers going back and forth, passing around a little fishy, and that was powering our item elevators, our silent one-wide item elevators. But it turns out we need to add some more hoppers around and actually make the elevators slower. So it's a much slower system now. However, it's also way more reliable, 100% reliable. We've tested it with many items. So now this thing is actually fully functional, which is really, really awesome. Glad that this thing actually works. So I would have liked to set up a raid farm in this episode for all of the totems of undying that we have. However, I am just extremely good at making the plans and doing the things and knowing how long stuff it takes in this game. I am just so slow at everything. And the new patron realm that we're launching is actually way more popular than I thought it ever would be. So that is taking up a lot of my time as well. So we're not going to get too much done in today's episode, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed. And thank you ever so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Now I'm flying. Dang it, I just wanted to like stand up there. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching today's episode. I do hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please do leave a like on the video. If you're new here, then be sure to subscribe, of course. I love your guys' faces. I will see you guys down in the comments and in the next one. And then there was silence.